Well, first of all, I made reference last night to a very bullish forecast of Hong Kong Shanghai Bank. To stress the point, it is a completely outside objective assessment of the prospects of the Philippine economy. And you may already know that it really created a lot of attention because the report said that by 2050, the Philippines would be the 16th largest economy in the world, surpassing Indonesia, Australia, and many other developed countries today. And last year, in the same forecast, the Philippines was only number 43. And so this really was very surprising even to the optimists. In 12 months, how can such a change occur? And the way I interpreted it is that it was not just a sudden improvement, that we have reached what management people call the tipping point. So, over 25 years after Marcos was ousted, leader after leader introduced very slowly and painfully a series of reforms. First, Cory Aquino, most important contribution was to restore democracy, so political reform. And she really stood out because of her having overcome 7 attempted military coups. I'm sure you remember that. In the area of economics, the significant contribution was financial reforms. In fact, it's a coincidence that one of those leaders in reforming the financial sector is now our ambassador to Washington, Ambassador Quisha. He was central bank governor. And remember, in the last years of Marcos, the Philippines was completely bankrupt. We had not a single reserve. And we were completely considered a leper, so to speak, in these national financial markets. But thanks to the 6 years of Cory Aquino, with people like Governor Quisha at the time, we restored confidence in the banking sector. So then after Cory Aquino came Fidel Ramos. Again, very painful and slow process of deregulating the economy, especially in the field of energy and telecom. You know, for example, today we wouldn't be the #1 call center industry in the world if President Ramos had not deregulated the monopoly of PLDT. Because we need broadband, we need all these telecom facilities, but thanks to what he did, now we have all the facilities to encourage BPOs, which Mr. Zulueta will talk about. He also addressed the paralyzing shortage of electricity. Those of you who are already around remember in 1991, 1992, every day we had 10 hours of brownouts in Manila. And what did Ramos do? He developed the build, operate, transfer so that a lot of investors came into power plant generation. So those were his main contributions. And then the 2 years of Erap Estrada, very short, but he made a significant contribution through his Secretary of Agriculture then, who was Angara, which is very active right now in the Senate. And that was to reorient the structure of the Philippine economy away from the wrong kind of industrialization to rural and agricultural development. So they started the process of building farm-to-market roads, more irrigation systems, more post-harvest facilities, which, to her credit, whatever you think of President Lord Manuel Arroyo, and the justice sector will decide on that, but her main contribution in economics is to endow the Philippines with more efficient infrastructures. I don't know if you've heard about the Philippine Nautical Highway, where you can take your car from Manila and actually travel in your own car all the way to Mindanao using the roll-on, roll-off, going through more efficient seaports. And our present president, again, is building on that, and through the so-called PPP, private-public partnership, is actually improving infrastructures. Those of you who have traveled to Manila recently know how it's so easy now to travel to Clark and Central Luzon because of NLEX, SETEX, and now our colleague upstairs, Mr. Kosunhi, is extending from Tarlac all the way to La Union. You can actually now travel to Baguio probably in less than 4 hours because of all of these tollways. And then to the south, you can now from Manila to Batangas in 1 hour and a half thanks to all the improvements. So these are things that are now promising a high rate of growth over the next 10 years. And as I said, 7 to 9% is very doable. And that's not a pipe dream because in 2007, we already grew by 7.1%. 2010, we grew by 7.8%. So it has been done. So now it's a matter of sustaining the rate of investment that we have seen in the last 5 to 6 years now. So I will stop there, and either you ask questions or you pursue the other sectors here, mining, BPO, human resources.